This is Roger Sexton with RE/MAX Preferred Group right here in Greater Cincinnati, Ohio, servicing the southern Dayton, all 48 suburbs of Greater Cincinnati and northern Kentucky marketplaces. You know, many for sale by owners out there basically are not aware that there is a form that the Department of Commerce has put out for all sellers. And I'm not providing any legal advice. However, this is an interesting story I heard the other day from an attorney that I was in a closing on, and indicated that the seller did not, the for sale by owner or the seller did not have the buyer fill out or sign or acknowledge the property disclosures which were required. And the buyer backed out within 3 days of the closing, thereabouts. I don't know what the technicalities were specifically, but based on whatever scenario that's out there under the law, that the buyer has the ability to back out prior to closing if these forms are not completed by the seller and signed by the buyer. I thought that was very, very interesting out there, and I don't know that many sellers or for sale by owners are aware that there are some, probably ramifications if these documents are not provided with the initial purchase contract and so forth. Basically, I have a copy of these. The one on the right here, this is the Ohio Residential Disclosures. It's a 4-page. It's pretty standard. And in fact, it's the same form that's used when you list with a company, a real estate brokerage. And then you would just fill in the property address and your contact information, your name and your address. This is a form that normally cannot be filled out by anybody but the owner. Even the agents can't fill it out for the seller. And then the buyer, or a place for the buyer to sign down here once you have the buyer. And then on the left side here, you basically have the lead-based paint form. And this is nice because it gives you an indication as a buyer if the owner knows of any knowledge or has any knowledge or reports of lead-based paint, or if they have no knowledge or no reports of lead-based paint. Also, as the buyer, you're given the opportunity to do a 10-day, there's a 10-day window to conduct a risk assessment or inspection for the presence of lead-based paint, or if you waive that opportunity. And normally, if this form's not filled out, then your rights may be all up in the air. So that's why it's real important, both from a buyer's standpoint and from a seller's standpoint, that these are completed, before the purchase contract is actually entered into, so that the buyer understands what they're looking at in terms of the total condition of the property, and then also knows, in relationship to the lead-based paint, the knowledge of the seller, what they have in light to that subject matter. So that will help the buyer, the deal go a lot smoother through the process and so forth. I will be happy to provide these forms to you. These are forms that you can download off of the state website, or you can email me. I'd be happy to provide them to you. Email Roger, R-O-G-E-R, at rogersexton.com. You can also, email is probably the best. And in the subject line, just put disclosure request, for sale by owner disclosure request, and I'll just attach these two forms and send them right back to you. If you have any other questions, certainly let me know. And of course, there's no obligation and absolutely no cost for this, so just feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to send you the forms. Okay, thanks a lot, and happy selling. And if you do need any help, keep me in mind. Love the opportunity for an interview. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.